Shame how you haven't a clue. There is no hotkey to undo. Same route I already knew. Been down this road a time or two. Hey now, I told you before. When I speak, you still ignore me. Stay out, don't knock on that door. She don't live there anymore. When you're gonna put down the phone, stay out, stay out. When you're gonna leave me alone, stay out, stay out. Hey
accepted.
Hello, hello, and I want to welcome everybody back to yet another episode of the Synthwave Hangout. My name is Dave, and I'm also go by the stage name, I guess, or artist name Memory Design.
And I'm Woren. My name is Dominic, and I'm happy to be here with you, buddy.
Yeah, again. Man. I'm happy to be here with you too. Sorry, I've got my daughter home sick today, and she's right outside, of course, right when we're starting, waving at me and stuff. So I just fell right over all my words. But hey, it wouldn't be the Synthwave Hangout without a weird intro. We really got these intros going strong, it seems.
Yeah.
But today I'm very excited, not only because our special guest is somebody who I like musically, but also somebody that we're both really good friends with and who's a really awesome person. So, Michael, are you there?
I am.
He is. He's here. Yes, so we have Michael Angelaux on today, and I'm very, very happy that you're here. We have a lot we can talk about, and it's always fun having somebody on who you're also friends with, because, you know, we talk all the time in various ways, so I'm really happy you're here,
We
man.
do. I'm happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
That's really nice.
Yeah, and as always in the chat, if we have any level issues, let us know, and we'll try to fix those up. It's always hard doing it the way we do it. There's got to be a better way, and I'm sure there is. So we're gonna have to work that out somewhere. But anyways, so I don't know, Michael. It's what? It's like 8 a.m. there for you, right? Out on the West Coast.
That is correct.
It's always very interesting. I always forget that, and it's I do appreciate you getting up early and doing all this stuff with us, though. But
Well, I usually wake up somewhere between 6 and 8 a.m. anyway, so it's not a big deal.
oh, that's cool. Yeah,
Nice.
I don't know why. I know people work and do stuff, but like I always figure people are like sleeping in. I have no idea where this comes from or whatever, but
It's from your inner desire to want to sleep in.
yeah, you know, maybe it is, right?
Yeah, because I'm the same way. I was like, I would rather be sleeping sometimes. Like, I'm like,
Or especially for you, right? Because you'd be like, oh man, for some people it's 3 hours earlier and they're still, you know, sleeping or doing whatever.
yeah.
But
Yeah, I don't sleep in. I'm not a sleeping in kind of person. I actually don't really like to sleep. I know that's weird, but
No, it makes sense. I'm not a big fan of it either. My problem is that like when I want to go to bed, when I'm actually tired, my kids are usually like one of them is usually awake late, and then I hit this weird like second wind,
yeah.
and then I just can't sleep, and then I end up getting like
Right.
4 hours.
Yeah, when I first met Dom, he was telling me about like the amount of sleep he gets and everything, and I couldn't believe it because I'm one of these people where like after a certain time it is just over for me. You know, and it's like I have to go to bed, else I'm gonna fall asleep where I am. You know, like that kind
Yeah,
of a
I
thing.
run on like 5 hours.
That's bananas, man. I don't know how you do that.
yeah, me too.
You and me both.
If I get like 5 or 6 hours, I'm usually pretty good.
Oh wow.
yeah, like 5 or 6 hours, and I'm okay. Like I'm not the best, but I'm probably about 80%.
No, that's like normal for me. I don't think I really sleep a full solid 8 hours most of the time. It's usually like I feel like a good night's sleep for me is 6 hours.
Oh wow.
I was just
If I-
underselling it.
Yeah,
But I mean,
if I
that
can do
is
6
normal.
hours, I'm good.
You were just trying to be
Yeah.
trying to be cool, right? Dom?
Yeah, I was underselling it, but yeah, no, I mean 5 or 6 hours is usually my like minimum, requirement.
Right. We should. I was wondering if we should tell people that this whole show is focused on sleeping and the amount of hours
Yeah,
we get. So
Yeah. From our new sponsor, we get free sleep apnea machine.
right. We got a big sleep apnea sponsor that we're working with right now.
Yeah.
So I guess Michael, for people that don't know you, I always describe you as a synth pop singer or retro pop singer or whatever. Is that how you tend to stylize yourself, or am I doing it wrong?
No, it's not wrong. I never really thought about it, but I guess that's correct. Synth pop, retro pop, retrowave. When I first started, I was saying synthwave, but the deeper I got into the genre, I don't think really what I do is synthwave, but I'm fine with that.
Man sings,
title.
okay? That's what he does.
What'd you say, Dom?
Said the man sings.
Right.
Yeah, I'm a singer. I sing pop music that is retro. So if you want to call it synth pop, retro pop, whatever, I'll take it all.
I think
Pop
like
retro.
synthwave too. I mean, if you're not like into the genre in the sense where you really understand all the subgenres and everything like that. Synthwave itself is like a good kind of catch-all.
Yeah, I wouldn't correct someone if they referred to me as a synthwave artist.
Right.
I wouldn't correct them.
Most people don't even know that they're listening to Synthwave when Synthwave.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
they are if they're searching for it. But yeah, I hear what you're saying. Like, for your sound, Michael, and if you've never heard Michael, we'll be playing him later in the show, of course. But a lot of your stuff, to me, authentically sounds like it's from the 80s, but somebody redid it, you know, with like instruments that sound better. And I don't know if that's a compliment to you or not, but when I hear your stuff, it's a very authentic sound in a very good way.
You remember everything that Dave says is very backhanded.
Right. Yeah, when I say good, I'm doing huge air quotes, but you can't see me because I'm not on camera.
Yeah.
Sorry, we're all friends. I apologize.
No, you're fine. So that is kind of on purpose because 80s influenced things have kind of popped up over the years, but I would notice that either people wouldn't really go for it, or like it would be so subtle that if like you didn't have a deep knowledge of the 80s like I do, then it would go over your head. So I would always get annoyed, like, oh, like why doesn't someone just like do it for real? You know what I mean? Like
Right.
stop dipping your toe in it. Just jump in the fucking pool, you know?
Right.
So for me, I was like, no, if I'm gonna do 80s music, like I would be doing myself a disservice not doing it authentically because I have such a deep knowledge of it. So it's like, you know, why not?
Right.
Like I would be cheating myself not doing it, you know. So it's on purpose.
Yeah, and I wondered when you were talking, and I had made that statement before. I wondered if part of that is connected to your style and your look as well. And if anyone's ever seen your album covers or, you know, interviews with you and everything, that's kind of part of the whole Michael Angelaux package. And so I wonder if
Absolutely.
that's the connection, you know, in my mind is why I think that, or if it's
I'm
just
having
the music.
such a hard time not being like sarcastic with both of you right now. Like this is like my normal go-to with you guys is like we're always sarcastic with each other. So it's like I'm like trying to like break myself of this.
Right.
today,
I want Michael to gain some benefit from this experience.
like when you were talking about your like his style, like I was just waiting for the drop. You know what I mean? Like for you to be like maybe it's like, you know, whatever.
Right. No, we've talked about this. You know, we talk also, Dominic, without you in the room, by the way. Only about you.
I don't like that at all. I just want to let you know right now.
No, I've talked about the style thing
Feel
with
very
Michael before. And, you know, like you and I, Michael, go way back even before Dominic in the sense of connecting on Instagram and talking and that kind of thing. So
He hit you with the I've known Michael longer than you.
I'm the third wheel.
Yeah.
That's correct.
right.
You heard it first.
I just wanted to make sure that you were in your place is my point.
That's
Ooh.
okay. I'm the third wheel that's kind of like misshapen, so the bike,
Misshapen
the
wheel.
bike has like a slight rock to it. You know, when it comes back around.
Right. When we're identifying ourselves going forward on a show, the misshapen wheel will be your tag, right?
That's the name of our band is misshapen third wheel. That's the name of our band.
Well, the reason I brought up. Oh, sorry, Michael. Go ahead.
Oh no. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say the reason I brought that up is because I sometimes forget. You know, when you meet people, you don't really like keep it in your mind as like this is the starting point of this relationship or something like that. But, you know, when I think back, it's been about a year and a half now, if not a little bit more, since you and I started talking on Instagram.
Yeah, and I want to say it was right around the time that I put out Love Is Not to Blame, and that would have been 2023.
Yeah.
So it's like summer of 2023.
Right. And that's when Company Man came out. So that makes perfect sense.
Yeah. Okay. So then that's about the time it was. Yeah. Damn, it's been
a long time.
That's crazy.
So
Go way back, way back
Yeah, way back.
to that year and a half ago.
right. Yeah, well, yeah. It feels like more.
I'm sorry. What was the question again?
There was no question.
There was no question.
There was no question.
I was
no,
just
I was like, Did he ask me a question and
No,
I just like went off?
I'm just
to
asserting once again dominance over the fact that I've known you longer to make.
Yeah.
Point taken.
You two are
You've
better
known me
friends.
longer than Dom, and he needs to know his. He needs to know his
to know
place.
his place.
I
right.
do. Yeah. I'm like I said, misshapen third wheel. I'm there.
No,
It's
actually,
okay.
I met Dom a little bit after you, so it's basically all the same time. But I was just
Wait, really?
Oh yeah.
No.
Oh, I didn't. I didn't know that. I thought you guys already knew each other.
No.
No, not at all. No, let's just make this whole show about this.
Right. Oh, man.
We're trying to reconcile these little differences.
Right, we decided to get on air and talk about sleeping, and then resolve this huge friendship group problem.
with Michael and I's relationship.
That's right.
what it is. There we go.
All
We
right,
figured it.
so I want to move on to playing some music so we don't go super over time. But when we come back, I want to talk about your new EP you just released, and some stuff you're doing in the future and everything like that. Because we're going to play some of your stuff coming up after. So,
Sounds good.
cool. All right. So this next one up is the newest release that just came out today by Carr. And we're back, and you were just listening to the newest one, or not just listening to, sorry. In the beginning, you were listening to Carr, his newest one, Cyber Ronin, followed by List with Sleepless Nights, with their song Message Unavailable, and the last one you were just hearing by the Neon Syndicate was called Asante. So, Michael, are you there? Oops, sorry, I gotta adjust my mic for everyone. Sorry if you hear the noise. Are you with us, Michael?
No, I disappeared.
Oh, no.
You went bye-bye.
I never
Just
know.
kidding.
You know,
I'm there.
eventually I'll get over this anxiety that our communication system is just going to break mid-show, right? So,
No, never. Never.
knowing me, it'll be never, I guess. But I always have this like free-floating anxiety, and Dominic used to really play up on this by not talking for like 10 seconds, which felt like 20 minutes to me, you know, just to mess with me. So, good friend, right?
Can't help it.
Yeah. So, I had a question, Michael, for you that I was thinking about earlier, and I don't want to put you on the spot with this, but, you know, people have been talking about that one of your songs, Dance in the Rain, you know, being freestyle, and we've talked about freestyle music and everything before. And so I was showing somebody the song, and I told them about the genre, and they were saying, well, this just sounds like pop music to me. And so how would you categorize, or how would you explain freestyle music versus, I guess, run-of-the-mill pop stuff?
I actually love this question because I also, when I was a kid, thought freestyle was just 80s dance music. I didn't hear any kind of difference in genre, so I'm happy to explain. It's not the most obvious difference if you don't if you don't know what makes a song freestyle. It's easy to not hear it. But what it is first, let's talk about the bass lines, right? So freestyle music has very specific types of bass lines. Okay, for example, one really popular example is like it'll be a bass line that'll be like dom 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 dom. Like it'll just be like a repeating bass line like that, right? The percussion is very Latin. So it's often sometimes called Latin freestyle, because the percussion and the drums are very much like based in Latin rhythms, and freestyle music is very popular in Latino and Spanish and Italian communities. So the rhythms are very Latin, right? Okay. Also, the synth patterns. For example, you know in the bridge of Dance in the Rain where it goes do 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 do. That's like classic freestyle 101.
Like a very syncopated.
Very syncopated, very simple melody, and like I think it'd be easier to describe if I gave somebody like 3 to 4 songs in that genre, and then they heard them like back to back, and then they would hear the similarities between the 4. So it's not so much that it's like its own separate genre. Right. It's a subgenre of 80s dance music. Okay. So there's house music, there's freestyle, there's techno, there's there's disco. Like there's all kinds of subgenres of dance music, and freestyle is just one of them, and it just so happened to be a thing in the 80s, and then it had a revival in the 90s, and then it kind of just went away. So what I did
was I realized when I heard this question that I didn't know the answer to that, and I could hear it and identify the sound, right? But I had trouble putting it into words in the way that you just did. So I did a search on YouTube for 80s freestyle music, and a lot of the artists that were in there, you have told me before, you know, or I've heard you talk about in interviews and stuff like that. And I won't be able to name any of them now. I mean, if you mention them, I might be able to say, oh yeah, that was one of them or whatever. But and I was like, do you hear how this all has a similar kind of sound? And the answer was, well, yeah, it just sounds like pop music to me. So it's the same kind of thing that you were talking about. But
I would say I'm trying to think of like a popular, because there were some big hits that fall in that category. Like the song "Domino Dancing" by Pet Shop Boys. That's a perfect example.
Okay.
That is a freestyle song, and that song sounds nothing like the rest of their songs. So
I mean,
even
clearly you guys are just making things up. Is all. I mean, let's get down to it.
listen, the internet said it, so it's true.
Right.
All right.
That's what
Very
we.
true.
That's
Yeah,
what we go
on the
by.
internet. It is very true. Yes. Yeah. I read
or
it. I
like-
read it in a Reddit post.
Right.
It is fact.
Yeah, it's not. I think it's not so much that it's its own genre. It's more just a subgenre that it's kind of like synthwave.
Yeah.
Like I'm sure if somebody heard synthwave, they'd be like, "Well, this just sounds like '80s music," or "This just sounds like, something from an '80s movie." But then when you say,
Whoa.
"Well, it's synthwave," then people are like, "Well, what makes it synthwave?" Do you know what I mean? So
Right.
it's kind of similar to that in a way.
Yeah, that's a really
Yeah,
good way
yeah.
of explaining it.
Yeah, like we know what synthwave is because we're in that world.
Right.
But if you're not in that world, somebody's not going to hear, a Time Cop song and be like, "Oh, that's synthwave." They're just going to be like, "Oh, it sounds like 80s music or video game music or,
Yeah, that's how Dominic describes his own music all the time as video game music.
No.
Hey,
Dude,
video
dude.
game music is don't not too much on video game music.
No, I know. This
alright?
is an old joke
I-
with us, though.
Yeah. No. It's one of these things where people say it like it's a compliment, and it crushes me every time. They're like, "Sounds like video game music," and I'm like, "That's what I was going for."
Right. It's like this is the kind of stuff I'd want to hear in the background while focusing on something
Or
else.
my personal favorite, or my personal favorite. It sounds like a real song.
Right. This sounds like music.
Are you like a musician or something?
Yeah, it's like imagine that, not making fake music. Thank you for
Right.
that compliment.
Yeah.
Yep.
Later, I want to talk a little bit about some of the responses to your music, like we're always joking about. But what I have up next is 3 songs that you picked, and they're all from your newest EP. Is there something about this new EP that you'd like to share with anyone that's unfamiliar with it before they hear it?
Well, so the whole EP tells a story from start to finish. I think that the songs on this new EP thematically are a little darker, but I also think sonically they are much more upbeat than my previous EPs.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's the answer you were looking for, but that's what I got.
No. I mean, the answer is anything you'd want to say, because I have made it no secret. What?
Well, what song are you gonna play first?
Prisoner.
Okay, Prisoner. Yeah, I was influenced by Tears for Fears' first album with that one. That was kind of the vibe I was trying to create.
I wonder if that's why I
Don't-
like the song so much, because as you know, I'm a big
Yeah,
Tears for Fears
that's why I
fan.
brought it up, because I know you're a Tears for Fears fan, and their first album, The Hurting, that's a very special album for me. From when I was a teenager.
Yeah.
So I'm not that old. I wasn't a teenager when it came out. This was in like the 2000s. So yeah,
Uh-huh.
I'm not in. Yeah, but
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, no.
Music finds you no matter where
You're
you're
right.
at.
That's absolutely
No, I
true.
know. I'm just like, I don't want somebody to be like, how old is this guy? Like,
Very, very, very old.
Right,
like,
right.
no,
You
I
had
was not alive in '83. I was not around. But yeah, that was kind of the vibe I was going for with The Prisoner. So yeah, but yeah, it tells a story. It's a little bit darker, a little bit dancier, and yeah.
Yeah, I've made it no secret that I'm a huge fan of yours, and of your first EP, and I love this second EP. I wish that it was like 3-4 times longer. Like one of the like a
too.
double record or something, because every song
No,
on
me
this is a
too.
banger.
I wanted to do a whole album for this project, and it probably would have been better as an album, but I just didn't have the resources at the time, and I
Right.
was dealing with a lot of like personal stuff, so it's like I'll just kind of do a EP just to get it out, and then but yeah.
The EP stands very well in my opinion, so it doesn't have to be longer, but it's one of these albums where I like don't want it to ever end. One of those kind of feelings,
Aw.
Yeah, and we're only judging you harshly. So it's not
Right. Right. Remember, you can't see the air quotes when I'm talking and saying any of this. So
Nope.
that's one
I-
thing
I
every
can-
guest has to remember.
I can imagine the air quote. So
It's a
use
great
my imagination.
song, right? That kind of thing. I'll just start emphasizing my voice.
Yeah, it's a great song.
Yeah, it's really, really good.
Or I'll play it and be like, this is going to sound awesome when you're done with it. You know what I'm saying?
That's
Oh,
why, to be
man.
honest, that's why I don't, like, my friends will always be like, how come you don't ever, like, tell anyone that you do music, or how come you don't, like, show people? And it's like, because when you do that, when you're like, hey, listen to my new song, check out my new song.
Right.
That's when, like, they'll sit and listen to it, and they'll do one of two things. They'll either ask you a bazillion questions throughout the song, and they're not even listening to it,
Right.
or they'll sit there in silence, and then after it's over, they'll be like, it was good.
Right. Or
And then you're just kind of sitting there like, wow.
Dominic's
you know?
my favorite when you're in like
me-
a thing, like, you know, like a group setting, and they're like, let's listen to your music. And then it's just like you're
I
like
hate
staring at the
so
floor
much.
while people are
I
like
hate
avoiding
that
eye
so much.
contact.
My friends do that to me relentlessly. They're like, "Oh, put on Michael's new song," and it's like there's like 20 people in the room, and they're all
Right.
staring at me.
Right.
But no, let me give you a tip. This is the best way to get the most honest reaction about your song, and I tell all of my artist friends this: go to like a party or a kickback or a hangout or whatever where there's music being played, right? And just play a selection of songs, and then put one of your songs in that selection, but don't tell anybody it's your song.
Ah,
That will get you the most natural, honest reaction, because people kind of cater their responses to their relationship with you.
sure.
So like sometimes they don't say anything. You know, they don't even notice that it's on.
Right.
That's a good sign, because they're not like, what the fuck is this? Sometimes people, I've seen it. Sometimes people will be like, what the fuck is this? Turn this off. And it's like, this is my song.
Right,
Wow.
right.
So
Yeah.
what
It's
I do
never
is I-
happened to me. It's never happened to me, but I've seen it happen to other friends of mine, and I'm like, oof. And then sometimes, every now and then, people would be like, oh, who's this? I really like this. And it'd be like, that's me. And they're like, oh my God. So I feel like that's the best way to get the honest reaction from friends.
So what I normally do is tell them that it's my song, and put it on really loud, and then I just stare at them.
I believe that. I believe that, knowing you.
Just stare at them intently, like the whole time. Like, you better not say.
Right.
one
What do you
bad.
think? You just pause it every minute. So,
Really good.
what do
right?
you think?
No, I think the best thing is that there was a meme I sent Dave a long time ago about this, where you show somebody and then you end up turning it off, and they're like, well, I mean, it pretty much just does that the rest of the song.
Yeah, right. I've done that so many times with people. I'll be like, it's pretty much just this
Get
the
in your
whole
own
way through. You just immediately tank your own review.
Right. You're like, yeah, it's not great.
It's
It's not finished.
It's just trash the whole way, so don't worry about it. All right, so if it's okay with you guys, let's move on to hearing 3 tracks from this EP, which is called... Oh, I thought you'd hop in. I thought you'd hop in and yell it.
Oh, it's called Current Affair.
Current Affair. And I always want to say a current affair, even though I know that's incorrect.
No, I purposely didn't name it a Current Affair
Right.
because,
Right, I know. But it was...
it's my EP, not Maury's show, all right?
Right.
It's different.
All right, so we'll start off with The Prisoner, and then we'll come back and I'll list all the tracks for anybody listening later on RetroSynth Radio, so you can go check it out. All right, so this first one up from Michael's new EP is called The Prisoner.
I never thought there'd come a day of deceiving. what a surprise. Why can't they see the reason that I'm tough? Is the love in your eyes? How can I try? And how can you fly when you're the prisoner? Come back to me. How can you be free when you're a prisoner? Give me the key and don't lie to me. I need the prisoner. Suffer the same, 'cause I don't carry the blame, but I'm a prisoner. I know you're coming home. Prisoner. I know you're coming home. Prisoner. I know you're coming home, 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 home. I know you're coming home.
Is this a false accusation? Will the princess confirm her family's allegations? This is a developing story. Please tune in tomorrow night.
Hello, San Francisco, and welcome back to WTFA, the Bay Area's hotspot for celebrity gossip and entertainment news. Pop star playboy Angelaux has been in trouble before, but nothing of the magnitude we are seeing with this latest scandal. His Hollywood peers are torn on the issue, with some entertainers standing in solidarity with him, while others remain silent. Did he mistreat the princess as her family claims? Is he the reason for the princess's illness? Legal experts say no one can be sure until the princess makes a statement. And later on this evening, actress Faith W. pulled over near Golden Gate Park, and it is believed she was in possession of marijuana cigarettes, to which...
Run through the mist atop my stallion on the darkest nights. The armor, the shine, pierce the darkness right into the light.
Or didn't he? That's what the world has been asking of the entertainer, who has been described as the bad boy of synth pop. Angelaux, like his socialite lover, has not been seen in public for several weeks, but it is believed he is hiding at his estate located in the hills above Verona, Italy. Later in the show, we'll be speaking with legal commentator and investigative journalist Cindy Donaldson, who's weighing in on the story and more when we return from the break.
Dance in the rain, neon exposure won't cover the
See, I don't know how. Excuse me. I don't know how anybody can hear those 3 songs and not be like, I immediately need this EP. That it's so good, Michael. You did such a great job.
Oh, thank you, Dave.
Yeah, no problem. I mean, it's true. Very easy to say. I love when that's the case. You know. So, yeah, man. And that was cool in the chat. For anyone listening to this later, he was explaining how the various parts of the song as they came in, you know, how this makes this freestyle, and that was pretty cool too.
Yeah, and I mean, it is pop music. So I mean, your friend wasn't wrong when he was like, "Well, it just sounds like pop music." It is pop music, but it's a specific kind of pop music,
right?
You know?
And it's when Jordan Ray Allen was saying those bands, you know, would be proud of you, or those artists rather.
My god!
They were on the list of that YouTube list.
Oh, yeah.
Those people.
Listen.
I recognize those names. I'm like, yeah, that was on the list I was showing.
George Lamond and Stevie B especially. I mean, Stevie B was huge in the 80s. He had a number 1 hit. It was a ballad though. It wasn't a dance track, but it was Because I Love You. That was a number 1 hit.
Right.
So I mean, like it's like if you know that style of music and you hear it, like I made that song for people who know that style of music. So it makes me happy when people who are into freestyle, they're like, "Oh my god, like you made a freestyle song." It's like, okay, I've done my job,
right?
You know,
right. Plus, it opens it up to people who maybe don't know that genre as well. So
right, exactly. So
for sure, and that was an excellent first single to release because it captures a lot of interest, I think, from people that aren't familiar with freestyle, because it is just very catchy by itself. Music. Right. Yeah. I mean, it's a very catchy song.
Yeah. That's funny you say that, because originally The Prisoner was going to be the first single. I know you know that, but I don't know if the audience does. But yeah, originally it was going to be The Prisoner. I was like going to lead with the more kind of sad Tears for Fears, Depeche Mode track. Right. But then I got Dance in the Rain. I finished the instrument. We finished the instrumental on that, and I was like, no, this has to be the single. like, this has to be the first single.
Right.
So
The Prisoner is a really good song too. I remember, and I'll let everyone in on a little secret here. I heard a little preview of that right when it was first.
Oh, it's not a secret. Listen, audience, Dave hears most of my stuff before anybody else does. He's kind of like the secret executive producer on all of my.
I always joke around that like it sounds like you gave whoever it is that wrote the music like Dave's music, and we're like, make this.
Oh, really? I don't know anything I make that's dancey, but maybe some of the leads or something.
I'm just saying it has your like flavor. It feels like sometimes.
Oh, cool.
Like some of the tracks, like the Michael has, like it always reminds, like not always, but like some of the tracks just make me immediately think of you. It's funny.
Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate that, and especially because I like them so much. That's a huge compliment for me.
Well, no, we definitely have similar vibes. That's why I think I reached out to him. I think I had hit him up. I was like, "Hey, I really like your music. We should work together." So, I don't necessarily think that's a coincidence, you know.
Yeah, I'll say it endlessly. Dave's an excellent producer. So,
thanks, man.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no problem, buddy.
This is the old joke where you're like sitting there now waiting, clearing your throat, and do you have anything to say to me? Right.
Yeah, no, I hate it. You know I hate it.
No, I know you hate it. You also know that I love your stuff. I always joke with Dominic on Discord because we send music back and forth, and I'm just getting banger after banger from him over and over. He's like, "Oh, I don't know if this is good." I'm like, "Are you kidding me?"
Yeah. Okay, now I'm gonna like beat his head in a little bit because he's also a really good producer, but you know, this guy will sit there and be like, I don't know, you know, it's all right. It's not that great. It's like, can you like shut the fuck up, please? Like, if I
your
don't
place.
think somebody, I'm gonna be dead ass. If I don't think somebody, not even if I don't think they're good, if I don't think it's gonna work collaborating with them, I won't. I'm not gonna sit there and waste my time and their time and, you know, make it seem like it's gonna work. So Dom is on my EP. We're working on like a couple other things, but still this guy's like, well, you know, I don't know if it's any good.
That is his exact voice.
I know. I almost thought I was talking, by the way, for a second. I was like, am I talking?
Right. You're frantically checking levels if there's a delay and it's playing your voice back. Right?
No, but you know what it is, man? It's like, it's, I appreciate the compliment, by the way. I really do. It's just like,
you're phenomenal.
I cannot, well, thank you. But I don't know why, but I get in my head so much about music. Yeah. And like, I have such a weird standard for myself. And I don't know, like, I don't know. It's just the way I've always been.
I'm actually the same way. It's a little bit of imposter syndrome. Like, you know, you're like, oh, well, I think it's great, but you know, but you really have to just like not think about that, because usually what will happen is when you stop worrying about that and you put it out, people are like, oh my God, it's so good. It's so good. I love it. And it's like, oh, okay. I don't think it's all that, but hey, if you like it, great. So you have to take yourself out of your music, because like once you release it, it's not really yours anymore. It's kind of, you know, so what you think about it doesn't matter. There's songs of mine that I don't think are that great, but people will be like, that's my favorite song. And it's like, well, who am I to tell them that they're wrong?
That happened with me with Impress Me, remember? You were like, I didn't even know if I was going to put this one on. And I'm like, that is my way favorite track on the whole album.
Y'all made me like that song more, because now when I listen to it, I'm like, okay, I hear it now. But originally I was like, this song is like whatever, like it's okay. But everybody's like, oh my God, I love Impress Me. So that's just out of my hands, you know.
On top of it, you know, like it's a perfectionist thing on top of it, because I want what I'm making to be the quality that I hear in my head, which is insane, because I'll never meet that, I feel like, because in my head it's always like this extremely high-end like production thing that's happening, and I'm chasing this like sound that I can never like quite make.
I'm sure a lot of artists would connect with that. You know, I've had that feeling too.
And even like when I was writing Dance in the Rain, that chorus, I mean, I almost changed it because I was like, I don't know. I didn't really, I knew it would work, but I didn't know if I actually liked it personally. But then I was like, no, but it works though. So I did it anyway. And like, you know, now everybody's like, oh, I really like it. But I was kind of on the fence, because I'm like, I know it works. I just don't know if I like it. Yeah. You know, but so sometimes you just kind of gotta trust your instinct outside of how you feel personally about it, and just kind of be like, I know that this works.
I've been doing that a lot. And I'm trying to improve on that, because I have a lot of friends that are musicians, like that aren't connected with the synthwave community. And in the past, I've listened to their advice and gone against my gut feeling, and still regret it now. You know what I mean? I'm like, I wish I could have just said, and then, because then if it fails, I at least can then use that as kind of like metric data or whatever, you know, for future productions or whatever. But once you let somebody else influence you, then, you know, it's kind of out of your hands then.
Well, here's the thing. You have to know what your strengths are, and you have to like be strong at your strengths. And then whatever your strengths are not, that's when you can let people influence you. Like, for example, when it comes to like lyrics, I don't let other people influence me, because I feel like I know what I'm doing, you know. But with something like, oh, the vocals on this are not compressed well enough, I don't know shit about that. You know what I mean? Right. That's something that like my engineer I would allow him to like consult me on that, because he's the expert on that. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. But when it comes to like songwriting or melodies, or like, you know, writing lyrics over an instrumental, like, you know, that's my strong suit. So I kind of just go with my gut on those things. So you have to know. Yeah.
Well, that's kind of how I treat life in general, is like, if I don't know what I'm talking about, I don't have any input. You know what I mean? I'm not smart. I'm not going to pretend that I know what I'm talking about. But then also, like, I've lost train of thought there for a second. So what I was going to say is, the thing I was just talking about with my friend Matt yesterday was that I've grown to not try to subject other people to my own subjective opinions with their music. Like, I try to say, you know, keep it up, or I'll say something, you know, positive, or maybe even like an objective thing, like, hey, this might be a little loud, you know, listen to it again, maybe it's just me. But like, I try not to interject like, hey, some people, you'll make something and they'll be like, hey, it'd be really cool if you threw like this little ARP thing here or whatever, and it's like, now you're like messing with my artistic.
Yeah, I don't do that.
I do that to Dominic sometimes, but
no, he does not actually.
I totally do, but I get your point.
He doesn't. He never does. Don't listen to him. So, but that's what I'm saying is like, it's like the second you start to throw your own subjective feeling into something that you're not collaborating on or you're not a part of, like you almost alter the art that somebody's doing because you're putting a thought in their head that wasn't there before.
Yeah, that's an interesting take on it.
Like maybe it may have like a negative, is what I'm saying, effect on that person.
Right.
If it's unsolicited, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, unsolicited, I think, is the important part of it. If I come to you and I'm like, what do you think of this lead? And if every time you come back and you're like, fire, then I'll know that you're just, you don't care, essentially.
Well, yeah. It depends on the response too. But I mean, that's why you have like for me, I have a very select few people that I consult with.
Listen, I also think asking opinions about things that are totally subjective is kind of, it's just gonna confuse you even more. So just go with what you like.
Right.
Just go unless this person's like a mentor of yours or whatever, I guess. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but like technical questions like, hey, how can I get this instrument to sound more crisp or punchy? That, go for it. Like, because I don't know anything about any of that kind of, so.
Yeah, but when it comes to creating, I believe the same thing. It's like, it's very much your own thing, and that you should definitely go with your gut. Like I always... generally the first thing that comes to mind when I'm making something is usually the thing I go with in the end. Like I'll make like 6 other things probably, but like I almost always end up back to where I was, or at least some like very small variation of that.
I think what we need to do is everything that you don't like or you're on the fence about, just put in a shared folder we have, and I will create a new fantasy artist, right?
So everything.
And then I will just start releasing albums, but never tell you when they're being released. And then we'll see, you know what I'm saying? And then all of a sudden you'll be like, oh my God, I have all these thousands of plays because it's all really good stuff.
All these tracks just stop after like a minute, 30 seconds.
I know, but that's your thing.
Right.
Stop at a minute, 30 seconds, and then I'll just put like a massive delay on the end. So it's like, bum, 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 bum.
It fades out.
Right. So every song ends up being like 7 minutes long because it's like a never ending feedback. And that becomes like your signature.
I like it. Let's do that.
Hey, so one thing, if you're new listening to the show, that I always ask a guest is if they want or they're able to bring 3 songs that aren't on the label, or if they are, that's fine too. And so when I asked Michael, we went over a few bands, and I heard back from some and didn't from some others. But one of these, the people that we're going to hear next is another freestyle artist, Alexis J. And because it's not, strictly in this kind of synthwave realm, is there anything you want to say about her? Because I know we can talk a little bit after about your future project with her.
Yeah. So how did that end up happening? Okay. So when Dance in the Rain came out, I was looking for freestyle specific curators to add to their playlist, because places like Submit Hub and Groover, they don't really have like freestyle specific playlists, so I had to kind of manually seek these people out.
Right.
So I found the freestyle channel, and I saw that they had a Spotify playlist, so I just DM'd him. I'm like, hey, I have a freestyle song, if you like it, can you add it to your playlist? It was very like whatever. So he didn't respond for a little while, and then he responded. He's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry, but I just listened to your song and I love it. I want to put it on my Spotify playlist, and I want to interview you, and I want to interview your performance. You're so great. And I'm like, oh wow, thanks. So anyway, with how Alexis J plays into this is that person. Oh shit, my phone's ringing. Sorry guys.
No, it's all right.
Alexis J was posted by him on his Instagram. He posted one of her music videos, and I was like, this is incredible. Who is this? So I shared it. And then I guess she saw that I shared it. So then she went and looked me up, and then she was like, I love your music. So She was very nice. She DM'd me. She's like, I think you're amazing. I even like your music that's not freestyle. I want to collab with you. My husband does all my production. You know, he wants to produce for you. So we talked on the phone. She's very lovely, very, very nice girl. She's based in New York, I want to say. Yeah, New York City. Mm-hmm. And she's a modern, young freestyle artist. And I'm like kind of obsessed with her music. Like, it's really good. It's kind of like it's like a 90s. So freestyle had a resurgence in the 90s, and I feel like her stuff kind of captures that 90s era freestyle, but still kind of contemporary too.
Yeah.
So I'm into it.
Well, she's the first one I'm going to play on your list here. So hopefully everybody agrees. I like her stuff too, actually.
Also, nobody's allowed to produce for you until I'm done. So
you're going to be waiting a long time.
I know. Like, this fool will take like 2-month breaks, you know. Like you get a lot of vacation time. You get a lot of vacation time.
What is Michael paying you for?
You know what it is? Is like I get I can write a bunch of songs, but then every song I write that I'm like, I'm gonna send this to Michael. Like, I'll go to do it, and then I'm like, no, I'm not doing it. Like,
oh my god, just send it. You know what? Every instrumental I've ever been given, like complete from someone else, is always the one that they're like, no, this one's not that good. Like almost every time.
Gotcha.
Almost
all right,
time.
Well, I'll just start sending random stuff your way.
Send them to me, and if I don't like it, then I'll just be like, "This sucks," you know.
Yeah, I have a track that I wrote all entirely sampling my shoes squeaking on the floor.
Oh, I love that one.
Yeah,
that's the shit I want to hear.
Right,
it's very, very heartfelt.
Just that and farts, just over and over again.
Yeah, that farts like.
But it's got a fire beat behind it. You won't even. Well, it's just
it's literally on fire. I literally have a drum machine that I just lit on fire.
God, how did we become so cool? I don't know. It's gonna be
so many ways. So many ways. I think it was definitely high school.
Yeah, right.
You know, it definitely did it for us because we were so popular.
Oh please, y'all didn't get cool till you met me.
That's true. See,
actually, very true. That's very.
I forgot you were on the show. We've been keeping this secret from everybody.
He jumped for a second when he spoke.
Yeah. I got excited and nervous.
Yeah. Oh, geez, someone else is there.
All right, so let's move on to these 3 tracks picked by Michael, and we'll talk about them a little bit after. First one up is Alexis J, Can't Get You on the Phone. And we're back. Excellent picks, Michael. Those were all really good. And I'm not that familiar with Lost Years. I've heard a few things here and there. I loved that song, and Dan in the chat was saying that that's his favorite Lost Years song.
Those were some nice picks, by the way, and the songs that you picked were nice as well, by the way.
Oh, thank you. Lost Years, they're like kind of OG, right?
Yeah.
I think so. Cause that song is on an old playlist of mine of like synthwave, retrowave stuff that I kind of just found.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's it's one of those bands where I've heard stuff from them here and there and never really gone down that rabbit hole. And them and RetroSynth started their collaboration with Rosso Corsa, and they're on that label. I started listening a little bit more to them, but I haven't made it to this until now. So I thank you for showing it to me.
of course.
And it's one of these songs too, where I'm like, I love this, and in the chat people are like, this has always been my favorite, or that kind of thing. And I'm like, haha, me too.
Right.
There's so many bands out there. There's so
many of us. So
and there's bands that I really like that Dominic's never heard of, and it's just there's always more to learn, which is so cool. I love that.
There are so many bands that I've never heard of. It's mostly because I'm in my own head all the time, just making music. So
it's like me and Sam or me and Dan, and we're like, oh yeah, this band's great, blah blah blah, and Dominic's like, I don't know who this is.
I have no idea. It's weird. I spent years. So when I'm not writing music, which is not I'm always writing music now, but when I do take breaks, I'll just binge listen music and everything because I'm so far behind on things. But then when I am writing music, which for the last year it seems like every day, I can't. I don't know what my deal is.
I had a question
I'm
about
always in writing.
I had a question about Murphy's Law that has now escaped me, but I guess we can all agree that that's just a great song. That Russell Nash worked on Darkest Night with you. It was related to that somehow, but
yes,
great artist, great composer, everything. I mean, a big fan.
Because I had just went in the RetroSynth chat and I was like, hey guys, I'm looking for someone to produce blah blah blah, and no one responded. The only person who responded was Dom, and I'm like, dude, we're already working together, but sure, we were actively working on stuff, but no one responded, so I'm like, okay, whatever, it's fine. But then Russell DM'd me separate and was like, hey, I saw that you were looking for producers, and so I'm like, oh cool, of course, yeah. And mind you, I had enjoyed his music before ever speaking to him, so that was but I really liked him, and we bonded because and we didn't even go into details, but both of us kind of went through some really hard times, and we discussed it briefly, but we didn't share details with each other. Right. And I just kind of felt like a connection to him on that regard, because I could just kind of feel that he was going through something just like I was. Yeah. And I think that I think it's interesting that the track that we worked on together was kind of about, whatever I was dealing with. So, I really appreciated his contribution, and he's a really nice guy, outside of music. So,
absolutely. I totally agree.
But yeah, we did that song, and it's so funny because I think I told this story before, but when he sent me that song, he intended the chorus section that I used to be the verse, and vice versa.
Right.
Yeah. So I'm thinking the chorus with a do-dee-do, I'm thinking that's the chorus. So I write a chorus over it, and I do the whole song, and then he's like, oh, that's so interesting how you switched the verse and the chorus parts, but I like it. And I'm like, wait, what? And then I'm like, oh, I didn't even know. Okay. So
I've had an experience like that with somebody that I'm working on a song with for my upcoming album, where I had in my head the way that this song would go and everything. It's actually the one that you and I talked about at one time working on together, the kind of darker sounding one. And he was like, oh, well, this is the chorus, right? I'm like, no. And I think he thought it was the pre-chorus or just something that it got all turned around into this brand new experience now. And when I heard his ideas on it, I was like, oh, this is better than what I originally thought.
You know, it's funny how that works out, but I don't know. Back to Russell for a moment. He is like, I don't even know how to really describe. Like, he is just one of those people that, like, when he writes something, it's every bit of it is good, and it's one of those people that, like, it always drives me bonkers.
Listen. This is what happened. I was like, I need one more song for my EP. This is kind of the vibe I'm going for. So I sent him some reference tracks, and I said, just kind of, because I was kind of in a rush. I don't know if you guys remember, but I was kind of like trying to finish this shit.
I remember. I was trying to.
So I'm like, okay, just here's the reference tracks. Just like throw something at me, right? He sends me back what you heard. And there's almost never a time where I don't want some kind of revision. He sends that to me, and I'm like, yeah, I think this could work. I think this will work. You know what I mean?
Right.
So like the only thing I had him change is I had him extend the third verse. I just had him extend it. There was no changes, there was no melody. And I had actually planned to have somebody play live fretless bass on that song.
Oh, interesting.
That was my original plan, but then I was like, no, like I actually just like it as it is. So he sent that instrumental to me, and that's one of the only times where I was like, I don't need to change anything. That's
incredible.
Yeah, so
he's
very talented.
Yeah, he's very talented, on point, really nice person too. So it's like he's all around nice guy.
Yeah, so Russell, if you're listening, you rule.
Yeah, I think
we love you, buddy.
We can all agree on that. Wow, it's already 20 minutes till the end of the show. Even though we always kind of go over, I can't believe how fast the show goes.
Yeah, it goes by real quick.
So if it's okay with you guys, let's move on, because we will have another talking part after this next block. Unless there's anything else you guys want to discuss. Sleeping patterns, maybe? We haven't talked about that in an hour.
I'm good on the sleeping patterns.
Okay, good.
I'm a belly sleeper. I don't know about you guys.
No, we're not continuing the conversation on sleeping patterns.
No, let's keep going.
All right, cool. All right, so I've got a slightly older one coming up from Perfect Female Type, and then I will see everyone after this next block.
Perfect.
Time is running out for you and me. A broken heart you could not see.
1, 2, 3, and the memories turn to dust. What do you do when you're hit by such a breach of trust? Nightfall, where do we go from here? I'd fall asleep and I'd follow the atmosphere. Nightfall, where do we go from here? I'd fall asleep and I'd follow the atmosphere. I visit places of what might have been. I carry scars for each and every sin. They're living in the corners of my mind. It goes 1, 2, 3, and the memories turn to dust. What do we do when we're hit by such a breach of trust? Nightfall, where do we go from here? I fall asleep and I follow the atmosphere. Nightfall, where do we go from here? I fall asleep and I follow the atmosphere.
And you were just listening to Perfect Female Type, Off the Wall, followed by Bending Grid. And what was that? Ariana, I'm going to say this wrong. Kalino with Collide, and then Arcade Beach with Nightfall. Well, we are at that time, unfortunately. The end of the show, the end of the line. And I have to say, Michael, I'm really, really happy you came on. And it's been really fun. I always have fun when I'm talking to you. Honestly, like when we're working on cover art or whatever together, it feels real chill with you, man. So I appreciate you.
Well, I'm gonna hold you to that because I'm gonna need your services very soon. So,
oh, I take it all back then. It's been absolutely horrible. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, always. Mm-hmm. I will always help you out, man. You know that.
Yeah, it physically hurts.
Right?
You know,
it physically hurts.
Oh my god. But yes, thank you.
Yeah, with the that last cover art that we worked on, maybe my favorite cover that I've ever had anything to do with of all time. There's something about
Wait, which one?
The one for your recent EP.
Oh yes, we did work on that one together.
Right.
Oh well, I mean, that was a lot of that was you.
No, I appreciate that, but I'm just saying like that the way that came together and the look of that. I love every aspect of that cover for Current Affair.
Yeah, it looks a little different than what I envisioned in my head, but I'm really happy with how it came out. So thank you for helping me with it.
No problem. But I have to say the glass crack was the icing on the cake, and that was all you.
You know, I was very unsure about that. I was like, should I do that? Because, like, I don't know. But I'm happy with it. I think it I think it captures the vibe. So
Yeah. I knew we were going to strike gold when the first thing you said to me was Black Velvet, and then I was like, okay, let's go. I know the vision.
I'm glad. I'm glad you didn't think I was going to cover Black Velvet.
No.
And that you knew I was talking about actual Black Velvet.
Yeah,
so.
absolutely.
Right. Well, I mean, that comes to, with the territory of us just knowing each other well enough now.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Dom.
For sure.
But
Absolutely.
not only Michael, Dominic, as always, thank you so much
For sure,
for
man. I
doing
love
this
you guys.
with me.
I'll talk to you guys in like 8 minutes, no big deal.
It is such a pleasure every Tuesday to do this with you, and I'm glad that this is a thing we keep doing.
I agree. Love you, buddy.
Yeah, love you too, man. And Michael, thank you so much again, and hopefully,
You are very welcome.
Oh, before we go, anything you want to promote other than what we've already talked about?
I mean, you can check out Current Affair, my new EP, anywhere you get music: Bandcamp, Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon, YouTube, wherever. I have some collabs coming out in the next few months with I have a song coming out with Perfect Female Type, and then some other things that haven't really gotten quite off the ground yet. And I am going to start working on a full-length album very soon.
Oh, that's awesome! Yes, I can't wait for that. And
Excellent.
and Dominic,
And it
has-
will be on vinyl.
Oh,
Sorry,
I can't. I don't say that to me without warning. I'm very excited about that.
Yeah.
And
You just
Dominic
made
will,
him hit the floor.
Dominic will be one of the collabs, I'm assuming, because he's promised that he will.
Absolutely.
No,
I told him in the Discord chat, I was like, we need to finish that song that we were working on.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's really
We'll do
good.
that, for sure. Yeah, we have a long road ahead of us, so it's okay. We can make a lot of things happen.
Yeah, we got time.
I also want to say thank you to everyone in the chat and everyone that has come in and out during the show. You guys make this so much fun, and I really appreciate everyone being here on YouTube as well. So we have 3 songs to play us out, and we will see everybody next Tuesday. All right,
sure.
Later, everyone.
Later.
Peace.
Walks alone, she won't let you get inside. Vacancy is in her eyes. It's darkness. A lonely soul lives with demons day and night. Pay no attention to her eyes. They're wasted. Memories locked deep down, not getting in. Unless you're a mind reader, nothing's getting out of here tonight. Unless you're a mind reader. Neon lights flicker in the empty streets. You can feel and smell the heat of summer. Electric dreams sparking in the dark. Secrets locked inside your heart. You're not ready. You cry for help, but no words are coming out. Your voice is lost in all this doubt. You're drowning. Memories locked deep down, I'll get it in. Unless you're a mind reader, nothing's getting out of here tonight. Unless you're a mind reader. Unless you're a mind reader. Unless you're a mind reader. Hey, hey. whisper in my ear. What was it that you said? Taste of sweet love. The warmth of your skin, you feed my desires. As you let me in, you lift me higher. Night and day, feel the passion. Bodies move, so surreal. It's never enough when we start to feel alive in the heartbeat, heartbeat, heartbeat between us. Bodies move, so surreal. It's never enough when we start to feel alive in the heartbeat, heartbeat beating between us. You feel it, you feel it. Bodies touch, I feel your body. A feeling like this can only get there with the heartbeat beating in us. Feel the kiss of an angel's design. A love like this will take you higher. Feel the heartbeat. Feel the heartbeat. Feel the heartbeat. Feel the heartbeat. Feel alive in the heartbeat, heartbeat, 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 heartbeat.
Uomo Su questa terra tu sei nato, con l'anima forte, piena di speranze. Guardi lontano e sogni il tuo destino, mentre ti incammini sul sentiero della vita. L'uomo è sempre cercato di capire, di dare un senso alla tua vita, e spesso ti ritrovi a sbagliare e dover ricominciare un'altra volta. E se ogni tanto ti perderai tra i sogni ed errori che tu farai, fermati un istante, guarda dentro te, ricordati che sei figlio di questa terra, nato libero di pensare e parlare. Solo tu puoi cambiare questo mondo, solo tu puoi cambiare il futuro, solo tu, uomo. La tua strada è ancora in salita e le cose da imparare sono tante. Ogni caduta diventa importante e ti fa scoprire la tua vera forza. Capirai il valore della vita mentre la difenderai dall'avversità, anche quando tutto pare perduto. Tu reagisci, non arrenderti mai. E se ogni tanto ti perderai tra i sogni ed errori che tu farai, fermati un istante, guarda dentro te, ricordati che sei esperienze